goodness. Can you please move? Thank you. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Okay, today's class, we're going to go through some sun salutations, and we're going to add in some standing balancing poses. This will definitely build some heat in the body. Great to do on cold weather days. And it will challenge our core, our balance in our legs and our feet and our ankles. And it will also challenge the upper back. So as we go through this, since this is going to be a quicker paced class and it is going to challenge your balance, please practice the yama ahimsa, non-harm, non-violence with yourself. So not only physically, kind of do what you can, but also observe and kind of watch your mental activity and how you speak to yourself in your head. Because when we are challenged in this way, sometimes you may find that you are judging yourself, that you are comparing yourself, right, to another person, or, some ideal image you have in your mind of what you're supposed to look like in a certain pose. These are all things that ultimately do kind of cause a little bit of harm inside of ourselves, and it also reinforces this sort of judgment and comparison out in the world. And that is the opposite of yoga. Yoga is union, and when we compare ourselves to others and we judge ourselves harshly, we create this sense of separation, which causes us to, have feelings of longing, of loneliness, of self-worth issues, self-doubt. We start believing things about ourselves that aren't necessarily true, self-limiting beliefs. So if you catch yourself going down that path today, let's just refocus on the breath, being present on the mat, feeling what's going on in your body, not worrying about how it's supposed to look or what you think you are, any kind of label you're trying to meet in your head. Okay? Ahimsa, nonviolence, which really is unconditional love. All right, let's get started. 30 minutes. So we'll end at about 10:05. We're gonna start in Tadasana, mountain pose at the top of the mat. Standing firmly in the 2 feet, feeling spaciousness in the upper body, and feeling length between the crown of your head and your tailbone as the tailbone starts to descend. The back of the neck is long, the eye gaze drops downward, down the tip of your nose, so that your gaze goes inward as you begin to focus on your breath. Expanding the ribs as you inhale, strengthening your legs and your foundation as you exhale. Take a nice deep inhalation. As you exhale, extend through the fingertips, and then inhale and reach your arms up overhead. Bend the knees slightly, exhale, and forward fold. Inhale, take your hands to your shins and open through the chest. Exhale, look down your nose, forward fold. Inhale, feel your legs grounding into the mat as you come up, and exhale, press the arms down by your sides. Inhale, arms overhead. Front body is long as you exhale. Inhale, flat back. Scoop your belly in and up. And exhale, look down the tip of the nose. Open your toes. Inhale, ride the breath up. Exhale, stand tall, belly in and up. Same thing, one more time. Inhale. Full exhalation as you forward fold. Inhale, stretch the front of the spine, look up. Exhale, round the spine, look down. Inhale, crown of the head leads you up to stand. Exhale, press the arms to your sides, and then thumbs right into the sternum. Take a breath. As you exhale, release the hands. Buttocks is firm as you inhale, arms up. And then fold at the navel, the chest, the chin, the forehead. Inhale, flat back, look up. Exhale, step your left foot back to a runner's lunge. Really feel the presence of your feet pressing down, and inhale, come up to a high lunge. And exhale, come down into plank pose. Tiger pause with your hands, wake up the underside of that palm, lower the knees, look up, elbows alongside your ribs, lower the chest. Straight legs, shoulder blades in, inhale, cobra. Exhale as you lower, move through all fours, tuck your toes. Exhale to downward dog. Deepen your breath. Sit bones high as you inhale. Fingertips rooting down into your mat as you exhale. Bend your knees, look forward, step your left foot up between your hands. Really feel the strength of the legs, your belly away from your thigh as you inhale and lift your arms high. Exhale, hands right back down. Bring that right foot forward. Inhale, flat back, open ribs. Exhale, forward fold. Feel the four corners of each foot root down as you inhale and you come up. Exhale, palms down in front. Pick up your right knee and your thigh bone is parallel to the floor. Open the toes, really engage your left thigh, lift your chest. Now we're going to exhale, move that right leg toward the back of your mat as you balance in a variation of warrior three. So your hips are pretty level, if possible. Outer right hip up and back, left hip bone down and forward. Breathe, roll your shoulders back. Now bend that left knee slightly as you bring your right knee back up in front. Good. Place that foot down. Exhale your arms down. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, look down your nose. Inhale, come all the way back up. And exhale the hands down, palms together at your heart. Balancing on your right foot, pick up your left leg. Yes, thigh bone parallel to the floor. Your left toe is active. We're picking the ribs up away from your waist. You can keep your right knee slightly bent as you shift the weight of your left leg back, reaching through your left inner heel. Roll the shoulder blades toward the spine and toward the mid area of your back. Yes, your back foot is active. Hips are square. We're breathing. Bend your right knee slightly. Inhale, bring that knee up in front. Exhale, place the foot down. Bend your knees. Come into Utkatasana. Sit back into your heels. Inhale, straighten up the legs. Exhale, and swan dive. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step your left foot back to runner's lunge. Inhale, high lunge. Exhale, warrior three, arms out in front by your ears. Balancing that left heel in line with the buttocks. One more breath. Plant that left foot at the rear of the mat. Back to high crescent lunge. Exhale your hands down, drop your back knee, the top of the foot, lunge the hips down and forward. Inhale, variation of warrior one. Look up, reach the energy up from your navel point to the fingertips. Exhale, hands come down. Tuck your back toe and then step that right foot into plank. Now you're gonna turn onto the outside of your left foot, your right foot, and stack your left heel in front of your left toes, right toes I mean, and lift your left arm into Vasisthasana. Really create a tiger paw with that grounded hand, tailbone extending toward the heels behind you. Exhale, lower the top arm, come to plank pose. Lower your knees, lower your chest through the upper arms. Stretch the toes back, elbows toward your hips. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, lower. Inhale, come into plank. Now we're rolling to the outside of the other foot, other heel is in front of the toes. Extend your top arm, crown of your head, reaching toward the top of your mat as your toes are open and arches of your feet are alive at the back of the mat. Breath strong. Exhale, back to plank. You can drop the knees or keep your legs floating as you lower. Chaturanga, and you're choosing either cobra or upward dog, and downward dog. Now, left foot steps forward. Inhale, high crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior three. Step forward, balance with the hips square, arms forward, back of your skull slightly lifted. Breathing, extending. Plant the right foot back into high lunge. Exhale your hands down, drop your back knee, the top of the foot, hips down and forward. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, take the hands down by the foot, tuck the toes behind you, step that back foot in, hands to the shins, look up, spread the collarbones. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, come into Utkatasana. Stand tall in Samasthitihi. Coming into tree pose, standing on your left foot, pick up that right foot to the ankle, the calf, or the thigh. Tailbone is descending as the center of the chest rises up. Shoulder blades are present on your back. Inhale, arms overhead. Deepen your breath. Exhale, lower the hands, lower that foot. Weight shifts over to the other side, picking up the other foot. Avoid that inner knee. Spiral your collarbones backward. Balance when it feels good. Arms up overhead. Feel the space between your floating ribs and your navel get a little bit longer as you root down through the sole of that grounded foot. Breathe laterally into the ribs. Exhale, hands down, foot comes down. Even standing, Samasthitihi. Bend the knees, arms up by the ears. Utkatasana. Adding a twist, take your right elbow past the left knee, and then palms together, look back over your top shoulder. Sit back evenly in your sit bones. Weight is even through your feet. Breathing nice and smoothly. Exhale, look down toward your toes. Bring the thumbs to the heart. Reach out with your left arm and then take that elbow past your right knee. Looking over the top shoulder. Open the belly when you inhale and draw it back as you exhale. Exhale, look down. Plug those thumbs right into the chest. Inhale, arms by the ears, and then fold right into your legs. Exhale. Inhale, flat back, look up. Exhale, step your feet to plank. Lowering down, exhaling. Inhale into a back bend, cobra or upward dog. Exhale back into downward dog. Smooth out the breath. If you need to come to child's pose, come to child's pose. Be aware of the sensations, thoughts, emotions. Breathe through that. Keep the breath actively moving. Bend your knees on an exhale. Look forward and either walk or hop your feet to the top of the mat. Stretch the front of the spine out. Exhale, forward fold. Bend the knees, arms overhead. Come back up, Samasthiti. Release the hands down as you pick up your right knee and hold it with your left hand. Right arm is going to open behind you, palm facing forward. You can look straight ahead. You can look to the side of the room, or you can look back toward the hand that's behind you. Focus on your breath. Draw that front knee a little higher. Inhale, look forward if you're looking back, and exhale, release that knee, place the foot down, stand tall in mountain pose. Picking up the left knee, holding it with your right hand, and your left arm is going to extend behind you. As you reach through those fingertips, hug that front knee a little closer to the midline of your body. Breathe all the way into the tips of your toes, the crown of your head. And look forward and float the knee. Place that foot down, stand tall, mountain pose. Inhale, arms up, overhead. If you need to bend the knees slightly, do so as you forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, step back to plank. Chaturanga with knees down or legs straight. Back bend as you inhale. Exhale, downward dog. We're going to ground our left foot on the center line of the mat, dropping the heel. The left foot's going to step forward, knee right over the heel. Inhale up to warrior one. Holding for 5 breaths. Count your breath. Breath is a little stronger here. It's a little quicker. You're going to straighten the front leg on an inhale. Turn your toes all the way to the back of your mat. Ground your back heel, toe in front of the heel. Drop your front knee over the heel. Warrior one, 5 breaths. Exhale, open into warrior two. You're still facing the back of your mat. You're looking past the fingertips. Sink the weight of your hips down. Lift the center of the chest up. We're going to come into half moon pose. So if you need to, most people do, I know I do, you have to hop this back foot forward a little bit to get the weight even through your front foot. Start to balance, picking up your back leg, and hinge over with that front hand. Roll your top shoulder blade back. Roll your top hip bone back into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Create space between your floating ribs and your navel point. Squeeze the buttocks. We're going to come back to warrior two, bending the front standing knee. Drop your back foot down. Inhale up, warrior two. Straighten the front knee. Turn your toes around to the top of your mat, the front. Drop into Virabhadrasana 2. Gazing forward. Deepen your breath. Feel the strength of your legs ground you down. Feel the breath helping to ascend the upper body skyward. Preparing for Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Hop your back foot forward. Feel your weight distribute evenly through that standing front foot as the back leg starts to float. Exhale into the pose, front hand down, top arm up. Working on getting as expansive out from your solar plexus area to the tips of the toes and the fingers as you breathe. Stay with it. Stay with your breath. The mind is going to wander off perhaps. Bring it back to the breath. Bend your standing knee. Drop your back foot behind you. Warrior two. And then we're cartwheeling our hands to frame the front foot, turning onto the ball of the back foot, moving through a flow as we follow the rhythm of the breath. Into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog, or down into child's pose. If your breath is super rapid and it's hard to get it to even out, then come down. Let the heart rate neutralize just a touch, and when you're ready, come back up to downward dog. Oh my goodness. Bend your knees, look forward, and walk or hop your feet up between the hands. Stretch the ribs forward. Exhale. Look down your nose. Bend your knees. Come up through Utkatasana to Samasthiti. Wild kitty in the house. So from Samasthiti, let's come to bring, let's see, the right knee up, catching the knee, okay? Exhale, open your knee wide. Yes. Lift through the top of the chest. Roll your left shoulder slightly back so it squares more with your right shoulder. Feel the area between your navel and pubic area like it's moving toward each other. Inhale, bring that leg forward. Float the knee, so both hands on the hips. Cross your ankle across the standing knee. Sit down into, we call it a figure four, I don't know, it's a hip opener with some balance. Your front shin bone is usually pretty parallel to the front of the mat. Shoulder blades roll down and back. Breathe into your outer hip. Push into that grounded foot. Inhale, come up. Take a breath, Samasthiti, and then other side. We're gonna pick up the left knee. Hold it with your left hand. Stand tall. On an exhalation, open the knee wide. Roll your right shoulder back. Space between the navel and your grounded foot. Inhale, back to the center. Float the knee for a moment. Then we're crossing the ankle. Cross your standing knee. Sit back into the hips. Open your arms for balance. Deepen your breath. Lead with the crown of the head. Inhale, come up. Take the feet together. Samasthiti. Inhale and really lift through the heart center. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, step to plank. Either drop the knees to the mat or keep them floating. Exhale, lower. Choose cobra or upward dog. Exhale, back, downward dog. Smooth out your breath here. Really long spine. as you firm your arms, your hands, your thighs. Bend the knees, look forward, walk or hop your feet up. Stretch the front of the spine, look at the brow. Exhale, Uttanasana, look down the nose. Inhale, float your spine to the top, reaching through the fingers. Exhale, hands down in front. Okay, let's lower the hands down. We're gonna pick up the right knee. You're gonna grab it with your left hand into this twist that we did a little bit earlier. Or you're gonna reach down for the outside edge of that foot and you're gonna start to extend it out in front. It does not have to be straight. In fact, having your knee slightly bent and descending this sit bone and the head of your thigh bone down is better than overstretching that hamstring or stretching it. Yes, find a good place for you. Looking forward is easiest for your balance. If the balance starts to come, maybe you turn your head, look to the side of the room. Your knee can also be bent, does not have to be straight. Maybe you look to the back of your mat. Inhale, look forward, and we're gonna float that knee, hands on the hips. Place the leg down. Shake out your standing leg. Definitely fires up the arch of that foot. Shake it out, and we're gonna then stand on the right foot and pick up our left knee, grabbing it with the right hand. Whoa. And then open your left arm out into a twist. This is your first position. Your second, you could grab the outside edge of the foot, hold it there. You could start to extend the foot forward, keeping that thigh close to your ribs, or you can straighten the leg. Then you play with your eye gaze. Play with smoothing out your breath, breathing with ease. Toning the navel back every time you exhale. Look forward on an inhale. Bring that thigh bone parallel to the floor, hands to your hips. Stand nice and tall and place that foot down. Stand in Tadasana and open your toes. Gaze down your nose or close your eyes and observe sensation moving through the body. Practicing Ahimsa, unconditional love. Dropping labels, dropping judgment. Focusing on the breath and the expansiveness of the heart. Inhale, bring those arms up overhead. Exhale, let the palms glide right down the center line as you forward fold. Inhale, stretch the front of the spine as you look up, and exhale, step back to plank. Lower down toward the floor in a way that's good for you. Inhale to open your chest. Exhale back to downward dog. 5 nice, long, extended breaths. Space between the vertebrae as you really activate the hands, the fingers, the arches of the feet, and the thigh bones pressing back. Then exhale, lower your knees down to the mat, knees wide, toes together. Sit back on the heels into child's pose. Relax your forehead down. Inhale, begin to lift your face. Walk your hands back toward your knees. You're gonna cross your ankles behind you and come down onto your seat, balancing on your sit bones by holding the fronts of your knees and lifting your feet off of the mat. Check out your feet. If they're wide, bring them together, big toe mount and heel, and then hug those knees to bring the thigh bones and the ribs closer together. Close that gap. Observe your belly. It presses out a touch when you inhale, and it really draws back as you exhale. Now, cross your ankles and bring your knees together if possible. If not, go back to that first position. Then we'll take the inner arms alongside the outer thigh, open your toes, draw that front ankle back so you're pulling that heel in close. Shoulders down and back. If you need to take a break, you just grab your knees and lift your chest, keeping those feet off the floor if you can. Then we're gonna cross ankles, so opposite one in back comes to the front. Squeeze your inner knees together. They love to separate, but we are asking the core to stay strong, building heat to last through the day. Good. Grab those knees, uncross your feet, and lift your chest and roll your shoulders back. Inner knees are pushing together. You can even use your arm strength to help. Inner heels push together as your shin bones are parallel to the floor. Float your arms to the sides. Lift those ribs forward. Maybe you use your quadricep strength, your thighs, to straighten your legs into Navasana. Totally still just as effective to have your shin bones parallel to the floor. We're gonna slowly come onto our backs, keeping a bit of a hollow shape as you lower down, down, down to the mat. Bring your right knee in and up, interlacing the fingers in front of your knee. Hug the thigh bone in. Cross the knee to your left. Open your right arm wide and look to the right. Feel your breath moving in and moving out. Inhale, bring your knee back to the center, and exhale, bring the knee or the nose up to the knee. Rest your head back, extend that leg long, draw the other knee in and up, squeeze that thigh bone in close to the ribs, and then twist the low back. Open your left arm, gazing to the left. Smooth out your breath. Cleansing the body, all the movements, the breathing, the non-judgment. Inhale, come back to the center, and exhale, nose to knee. And then extend that leg out on the floor, settling onto your back body with your palms face up. Closing down your eyes, dropping right into Shavasana. When you're ready, deepen your next breath. Draw your knees up and then roll to one side. Make your way up to a seated position. Palms coming together at your heart center. As you gently bow the face down to gaze within. Being mindful of your thoughts today, your emotions, sensations, memories. Practicing Ahimsa, non-violence, non-harming, in the way of unconditional love for others, for yourself. And thank you for practicing with me. Have a wonderful day. Namaste. All right, thanks you guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week and weekend, and I will see you next time. Thank you. Bye.